Hey, the Breakmaster here, and this is gonna be my Usagi Drop Episode 8 review. So, before I jump into this anime, this this review, you know what I'm saying? It's really good. It's another good episode. I'm really liking the feel of this show. Honestly, this show is just really good. They keep putting out really good episodes. So, good job, Usagi Drop. Yes. So yeah, basically this episode starts off with Rain waking up, and she takes her, like, she gets some clothes and she puts in the washing machine, and she ends up getting water in her little pot base thing that she holds to sprinkle water on stuff. So she puts water in that, and she's waters her little plant that she's growing. You know, that little tree thing that's supposed to be growing with her in time. So she grow that tree. She waters the other tree that was already growing for her, and then she ends up watering I think Daikishi's tree too or something like that. And then the opening starts. And yeah. So yes, this basic episode starts. It goes into we get to see Masako more and stuff like that. Ren's mom, so we get to see her a lot more now in this episode. And basically, she's like, she's trying to become a workaholic. She's been working like her butt off all night and day and crap on some projects, some manga projects she's working on. I'm not sure what it is or anything like that, but she's working on it. And then one of her colleagues, one of her workers, co-workers and stuff like that, ended up telling her to take a break because she's working her butt off. And the rest of them too, because the other co-workers she has, they're all like dead tired, having these bags on their eyes and stuff. And so she, it's like, come on, let's go, I'll take you out somewhere or whatever. And so they end up going to a restaurant and everything like that. And he starts explaining. I don't know his name. I don't think they said it, but he ends up explaining. You don't have to work so hard. You don't have to do all that stuff. And she's like, I don't know. I mean, I gotta keep working and stuff. So she just she really likes to work and crap like that. And then she has some ink on her face, so the guy was trying to wipe the ink off his face. Like, well, you are a girl. And she's like, man, I'm a manga artist. And then she ends up dashing out of the cafeteria, or the cafe that they're at. I said cafeteria, it's in school. But he ends up walking out of there, and he's like, the guy's like, oh, I'm sorry for all the commotion, the trouble and stuff like that. So we end up seeing Daikishi, and Daikishi, he's just, he was like, because he woke up, he had to wake up and stuff like that. So he was all laying on the ground and stuff like that. And he's like, oh man, it's so hot and stuff. So he was just laying there on the wood floor, because I guess it's cooler. And Ren's like, what are you doing? I'm laying down. He's like, well, why are you laying down right there? And he's like, well, it's like, because it's hot and stuff. And he's like, oh, okay. And yeah, so they end up trying to make lunch, because that's their daily routine now, because it's summer now. So I guess she don't have no school anymore. So that was pretty fast. So it's summer now, so they're not in school. So he ends up making her lunch too and stuff like that. So he was like, he got up, and so he started trying to make the lunch, and then he ends up seeing Rin on the ground too, laying there. It was pretty cute. He's just laying there and stuff, and he's like, she's like, come on, Rin, let's go. And she's like, hi. And yeah, so they end up making lunch, and she's gonna go to his daycare and everything like that, and so they're going outside and stuff. Then we get to see Koki out of nowhere. I mean, he's walked by their house every time. He's like, without his mother and everything, so he's like, there, and he's like, hey, look, I found, so yeah, I don't know, I'm not sure, yeah, I think he's going to daycare too, so I guess she's taking him, but so they both walk to daycare, right, and he ends up having to stop, so he had to go get something and stuff. So he's like, well, we're gonna be late. And so Koki ends up going behind something, ends up finding this little bug, it's like a shell of a bug. So yeah, he's like, oh, I used to, and Daki's like, oh, these are memories. He's like, yeah, and then Koki's like, yeah, I collect all of them, and he ends up showing him how much he has. It's like, it's kind of nasty, and freaking Daki's like, oh my god, it's gross, and just like, what the heck. So yeah, they end up going to the daycare and stuff like that, and all that work. And so there's gonna be this Obon festival they're supposed to be going to, and that was in like 10 days, so they're gonna go do that. But after all that stuff happened, we end up seeing we end up going to Daichi, and Rin ended up going to their grandpa's grave, because of someday I can't exactly remember, but someday they're supposed to be honoring like the dead, I think. So they end up going to his grave, and as he went to the grave, and they noticed, and Daichi ended up noticing something. He's like, oh snaps, this is Masako stuff. And then Rin's like, oh, that's Masako's ink thing, and Daichi's like, hold on, Rin. He go pluck the weeds off the ground, and I gotta go somewhere. And he ends up running, and he ends up catching up to Masako, and then he ends up following Masako a little bit. And the funny part about this episode right here is he's freaking retarded. I don't know why he did that, but he was following her, and then he's like, he's trying to get her attention. So he's like, he goes around, because he's like behind his pole, so he's like turn around his pole, and he's like, I'm like, what the heck is that? So they end up getting her attention. He's up seeing them, and then he ends up explaining that Ren is here, and if you want to see her secretly, you can. I just wanted to warn you. I just want to tell you about this, and yada yada yada, because you're at least going to get to see your daughter and everything. So he ends up going back to Ren, and then she ends up actually watching Ren, do this stuff, and she's like, wow, she's grown so big and stuff like that. And she also had that guy with him, and the guy's like, oh yeah, she does look like you and stuff. And she's also seeing that she from a different angle, she kind of looks like that her husband, or that the old dude, like she's uncle. So yeah, she's like, that was good. And so they ended up giving her the resolve to actually want to work more. Now she wants to work her butt off, just all like she wants to do this thing now. And the guy's like, you sure about this? It's gonna be a lot of work. She's like, I gotta keep working. I gotta do this. I gotta work to drown out this memory. It's just too hard. If I can work and forget everything, then that's what I'm gonna do. And that's just not good. No, I don't really like her mentality on that. She's just trying to wash out and forget everything by doing a bunch of work. Cause since she doesn't have anyone in her life like that, so yeah, she thought that was her boyfriend too, by the way, and yeah. So that was going on. And that's basically done. They ended up going to the Bomb Festival at the end of the episode. Yeah. So as they're going to the Bomb Festival, because this is the funny part too. At the end of the episode, they're going to the Bomb Festival, and Ren is all dressed up. She's dressed in a yukata, and he's not wearing nothing like anything spectacular in that day. Koki wasn't wearing anything either. So he's all like, I can't jump over this plant if I had that thing on. So he didn't want to wear it. And they were wondering, where's your mother? And he's like, well, I don't know, but I think she's gonna be at the festival too or something like that, and she wants you to take me, or I guess I don't know what's going what we really said, because the subtitles were like kind of off in this episode. But yeah, after that happened, they're like, oh okay, and then Daiki's up visiting her and visiting Koki's mom in her yukata, and he's like, it's stupid. He's like, hey, let's go, and crap. So yeah, and they end up going. But yes, that was the episode, and in all glory, there's still some more stuff that you should go see. So if you've seen this episode, leave a comment on what you think of this episode, and if you haven't seen the episode, go watch it, come back and leave a comment below, and thumbs me up if you like this review, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't subscribed yet, so you can see more Usagi Drop review goodness. And until then, Usagi Drop episode 8 review. Until then, break out.